students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about some very important and interesting facts about our planet Earth. So first of all, we know that of all the solar systems that we have witnessed till now, that we have seen till now, the Earth is only planet that is known to support life. Also, it is only planet with liquid water that is flowing across the surface. And not only liquid water is found in a small amount, but it makes up a large chunk of the Earth's surface. And these are the two main reasons why, for a very long period of time, astronomers and planetary scientists seek to understand more about the evolution of the Earth and how and why Earth become such a heaven to support such a huge diversity of life. As far as the name or the term Earth that we use today, the word Earth has came from the Old English and German roots. In Old English and German roots, the word that was used called as Yorde, and from Yorde, gradually the word came into existence, and that is why we call today our planet as Earth. Now, humanity's view of Earth has not been static since the past time. If we talk about in the beginning, at least till 16th century, many scientists and many astronomers used to believe that Earth is at the center of universe and all the planets or satellites such as Moon are basically orbiting around the Earth. And this can be understood from simple logic that when on the earlier time when astronomers used to look into the sky, they did not see the Earth move. Rather, they used to see all the stars, all the planets moving around the Earth, and that is why this view came into existence. However, situation changed in year 1554 when Nicholas Copernicus, a Polish astronomer, published a book called as On the Revolutions of the Celestial Spheres. And it is for the first time here Copernicus has said that it is not the Earth around which all the planetary bodies and the sun are revolving. Rather, it is the sun which is at the center of our universe, at the center of our solar system, and all the planets, including Earth, are basically revolving around the sun. So, once this revolutionary idea came into existence, then many more attempts were made to understand or to verify this fact, and gradually and eventually, astronomers began to accept this idea, and especially when the science and technological development happened in later stages, then we were able to verify this fact very easily that it is indeed true that sun is the center of the solar system and Earth is basically revolving around the sun. Now, if you look at the present view understanding of our solar system, we can see the Earth is just a third planet from the sun, which is the center of our solar system. And as far as mass is concerned, sun is so humongous in size that it makes up almost 99% of the solar system. Remaining less than 1% is what other planets, satellites, comets, and asteroids make. As far as Earth is concerned, as we can see, we have Mercury, that is the first planet from the Earth, from the Sun. Then we have Venus, and then we have the Earth. And Earth revolves around the Sun almost in 365 days, and it revolves. And the average distance between Earth and Sun can be considered to be somewhere about 1.49 into 10 to power 8 kilometers. Or in simple terms, you can also say that somewhere around 149 million kilometers. That is the distance between Earth and Sun. Apart from that, the nearest planet from the Earth we can say is Venus, and then we have the Mars. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, these four are also sometimes referred as inner planet or terrestrial planet, while then the other four planets, that is Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, and Saturn, are referred as a Jovian planet or the gaseous planet. So between these inner planets and the outer planets, we have a rotating clouds of lot of dust particles, rocky particles, which are called as asteroids, and this whole region is known as asteroid belt. So this is the present structure of our solar system. Now, the most important fact that the astronomers, scientists have tried to understand and try to inspect is how come Earth formed at the first place. So, it is believed that somewhere about 4.6 billion years ago, there was a coalescence of large volume of interstellar cloud of gas and dust, and due to this coalescence of interstellar cloud of gas and dust, we have the formation of a star, which is sun in our case. And as the outer part of the sun started to cool down, as the outer part of this cloud of gas and dust started to cool down, then gradually we have formation, and the outer part started to accrete away, and that is when, due to this accretion, we have formation of small planetesimals. That was the protoplanet, we can say the planet before it has been fully developed. So gradually from this sphere of interstellar sphere of cloud of gas and dust, gradually we have formation of Earth. And obviously, since there is very high temperature in this cloud of gas and dust, Earth when it formed in initial stages was nothing but a kind of molten sphere. And this molten sphere is something that we can refer as planetesimals. But as Earth separated out, as Earth started to cool down, gradually two important events or phenomena has happened on the Earth. The first is called as outgassing, where the lighter materials, including gases, start to escape away from inside the Earth and started to develop the first atmosphere of the Earth. At the same time, the Earth also started to undergo the process of differentiation. Now, differentiation is basically the distinction or the separation of the Earth's layer into multiple layers on the basis of density. And during this process, the denser materials that are present in the Earth or present on the Earth or in the Earth started to go toward the center of the Earth, while the lighter materials started to float and come on the surface of Earth. And that is why we have a separation of layer that also we see in this particular stages. Gradually, during these two processes, we have large scale volcanic eruption that has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. Not only that, due to this volcanic eruption, we have eruption of water vapor. That water vapor, when condensed, led to formation of oceans due to incessant rainfall that went on again for thousands and thousands of years. So this has been the we can say initial history as far as the Earth is concerned. Now we know that as far as the movement of Earth is concerned, Earth do two types of movement. One, we can say it rotates on its axis, and second, it revolves around the sun. So first of all, if we talk about rotation, so this is very basic fact that Earth rotates almost in 24 hour, completes one rotation in almost 24 hour. However, what we have to understand that Earth's axis is not straight, or we can say it's not perpendicular to its elliptical plane. Earth's axis is tilted to almost 23.5 degrees as of now as compared to its orbital plane. Not only that, Earth's axis also undergoes something that is scientifically called as axial precession or axial wobble. The axial wobble happens in a cycle of almost 26,000 years. So what is axial precession? Axial precession refers that because when the Earth is rotating on its axis, it is wobbling due to high value of gravitational force being exerted by the sun and moon around its equator. And that is why the shape of Earth is not a perfect sphere. It is more elongated near the equatorial region while slightly compressed near the polar regions. And due to this fact, Earth's axis undergoes wobble, and this wobble is also sometimes referred as Milankovitch cycle. Not only that, the current tilt of Earth's axis from the perpendicular is 23.5 degrees, but this axial tilt is also not fixed. As per the scientists, it is believed that it undergoes transformation, it undergoes change in a 41,000 year cycle where its value changes from 22.1 degrees to 24.5 degrees. So somewhere we can say the current axis of Earth is at 23.5 degrees. So right now it is increasing. It will go up to 24.5 degrees. After that, again, it will start to decrease back. So this is something that is called a change in the obliquity or change in the tilt of Earth. This is some interesting fact as far as the Earth's rotation is concerned. Apart from that, we talk about the movement of the Earth around the Sun. So Earth is orbiting around the Sun in an elliptical orbit, and it is due to this movement of the Earth in an elliptical orbit, we have different seasons that we see around the Earth. For example, we have summer season when the northern hemisphere of the Earth is oriented toward the Sun. We have winter season when the southern hemisphere of the Earth is oriented toward the Sun, and we have autumn and spring when the circumference of light or circle of light is equally dividing Earth into two spheres. And that is something that is also called as equinox. So we have equinoxes, that is autumn equinox and spring equinox, and we also have solstices, that is summer solstice and winter solstice. That is all about the revolution of the Earth. Now, one other interesting fact we have to understand as far as the Earth's revolution around the Sun is concerned, that since Earth revolves around Sun in an elliptical orbit, what happens that one point of time Earth is closest to the Sun, and this happens somewhere around 3rd of January as of now, and this position of Earth when it is closest to the Sun is called as perihelion, and this distance is somewhere about 147.1 million kilometer or 91 million miles. At the same time, when Earth is at its farthest distance from the Sun, this happens around 4th of July, and this position is called as aphelion, which is roughly about 94.5 million miles or 152.1 million kilometers. So the distance between Sun and Earth is not always fixed. It keeps on changing from shortest to longest. Now coming to the most important fact that how or why Earth is able to support such a huge diversity of life. So the major reason why Earth is able to support life is because there is abundant water supply. And second most important reason is the temperature of Earth does not vary significantly. The temperature of Earth is a kind of temperate atmosphere where the temperature of the Earth's surface is almost fixed at 15 degrees Celsius, while the atmospheric temperature also does not fluctuate much. If we talk about the coldest part of the Earth, their temperature can go to -50, -60, while in the hottest part of their temperature can go up to +45 to 50. So both these extremes of temperature are survivable as far as the life forms are concerned. So it is believed that when initial stages due to the process of outgassing and differentiation, when the water vapor accumulated in the atmosphere, after they underwent condensation, there was a rainfall that went on for thousands and thousands of years that led to formation of the ocean on the earth. And once the ocean formed, the first life form is believed to have developed in the ocean or in the water areas of the earth somewhere about 3.8 billion years ago. These life forms were very primitive life forms. Mainly, these were microorganisms such as cyanobacteria, blue-green alga, and gradually these life forms also are responsible for development or we can say accumulation of oxygen in our atmosphere that has led to development of more complex life. And as far as our current present situation is concerned, it is believed that there are nearly 9 billion different species of plants, animals, and insects are present on the earth. This is just estimated number. Obviously, the calculation or we can say the verification of this number has not been made, and it is quite possible that if all the plants, animal, and insect species are documented, this number can even increase further higher. So let us try to understand now what is inside the earth. So as far as the structure of earth is concerned, it is mainly made up of three layers. The first or the top layer is made up of crust, which can be divided into two types. We have continental crust, which is made up of granite, and we have oceanic crust, which is made up of basaltic rock. Similarly, the second layer of earth is called as mantle, which is either a rigid mantle or a stiffer mantle. And the innermost layer of earth is called as core, which can be further divided into outer core and inner core. The outer core is in liquid state while the inner core is in solid state. If we try to understand the structure of Earth in slightly more detail, what we can see from this particular diagram, that two things are happening. As we are going inside the Earth, the density of the materials is continuously increasing because in the upper layer we have the dominance of silica and aluminium. In the middle layer we have the dominance of silica and magnesium. Apart from that, aluminium, titanium, nickel, and in the innermost layer we have dominance of heavier elements such as nickel and iron. So density of Earth continuously increases from almost 2.3 gram per cubic centimeter at the surface to almost 15 gram per cubic centimeter at the center of the Earth. Not only that, as we go inside the Earth, the temperature of Earth also continuously increases. For example, at the Earth's surface, temperature is around 15 degrees Celsius, and now you can understand that when we reach the center of Earth, temperature reaches almost 4,400 to 5,000 degrees Celsius. The overall distance between the surface and center of Earth is considered to be somewhere about 6,370 kilometers. Now, we have divided the layers of Earth into crust, mantle, and core. However, when we are transitioning from one layer to another layer, we have several discontinuities that are found here. So, for example, between crust and mantle, we have Mohorovičić discontinuity. Between upper mantle and lower mantle, we have Rapeti discontinuity. Between lower mantle and the outer core, we have Gutenberg discontinuity, and between outer core and inner core, we have the Lyman discontinuity. These are the very important and major discontinuity zone that we find within the Earth's crust or within the Earth's interior. Now, coming to look at the Earth. Now let us try to understand and look at the Earth in some numerical terms. So as far as the diameter of Earth is concerned, as we have discussed just now, that Earth is more elongated around the equator, and that is why the equatorial diameter of Earth is around 12,758 kilometers, while Earth is slightly compressed near the poles, and that is why the polar diameter is slightly smaller at 12,714 kilometers. As far as the rotation of the Earth is concerned, it completes one rotation in almost 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4 seconds. At the same time, the revolution of Earth around the Sun is concerned, it completes one revolution in 365.24 days, and this extra time that Earth takes to complete revolution is gradually added, and after the end of 4 years, one extra day is added in the calendar, and that calendar year is called as leap year. As far as the composition of the Earth's surface is concerned, the Earth's surface is made up of 71%, almost 71% water, while only 29% of area is covered by the land mass. So obviously now a question will come to into mind that if there is so much water that is present in our earth or present on our earth, why or how come we have so much problems with the availability of water? Why so many countries are facing critical water threat, and why water is not available to a large section of society in different regions of our country and even other countries of the world? So the reason behind this is very simple. It is not that how much water is present on the earth, but we have to understand that how much of that water can be directly used by us. So let us try to understand how water on the earth has been distributed. So as we just discussed that out of all the 71% of water that is present on our earth, 97% of this water is present in the oceans. And as we know that the water that is present in the oceans are saline water, are salt water, and that is why this cannot be used directly for our consumption. So we are left only with 3% of the earth water which can be categorized as fresh water. Now here also the story does not end. Out of this 3% of fresh water that is available to us, 70% of this 3% of water is locked in the form of ice caps and glaciers. That is, this water is in solid state. Remaining 29% is present or found in the form of groundwater, while remaining 1% is something that we can call or that we can understand is easily accessible fresh water. So it is this water on which most of humanity is dependent upon. However, here also story does not end. Out of these easily accessible 1% of the fresh water, 38% is present in the form of soil moisture, 52% is present in the form of freshwater lakes, and 1% is present in the form of water vapor. As far as rivers are concerned, they are having a very minute share of the fresh water. They make up only 1% of the fresh water, and remaining water is found among the living things, because our body itself, human body, is believed to be more than 60% our body is nothing but water, and similarly for the other animals and plants as well. So now you can understand the distribution of water, you can understand the actual availability of water that can be directly used by us humans is very less, is very small percentage, a very small fraction of all the water that is present on the earth. And that is why the conservation of water should be our goal, should be in each individual's goal, if we want to make sure that the humanity exists or humanity does not face critical threat of water in the coming decades and the coming century. Now this is about the distribution, we can say distribution of water on the Earth's surface. But what about the atmosphere of the Earth? So atmosphere of Earth can be divided into two types of gases. We have permanent gases such as nitrogen, which makes up almost 78% of the Earth's atmosphere. We have oxygen that makes up almost 21% of the atmosphere. Then we have argon, which is the third most dominant gas in the atmosphere, making 0.93%. And then we have some trace amount of noble gases such as neon, helium, argon, krypton, and xenon. Then we have some gases that can be called as variable gases, whose percentage vary from place to place on the earth. In these gases, we have gases such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and some other greenhouse gases. So this is the present atmospheric composition of the earth. Now let us try to understand some interesting fact about the earth. So as far as the highest elevation point of earth is concerned, it is believed to be the Mount Everest, that is the highest peak of Himalayas, located in Nepal, and it stands tall at 8,848 meters. So this is the point which is at the highest elevation from the surface of the earth. However, if we talk about the tallest mountain, if we consider the height of mountain from the base to the peak, it is not the Mount Everest, but it is Mauna Kea mountain, which is situated in the Hawaiian island of the Pacific Ocean. This is the highest mountain, tallest mountain as far as the distance between base to peak is concerned. This is an example of volcanic mountain, and that is why the base of this mountain is standing at the ocean bed, while the topmost point of this mountain is standing above and is now projecting above the surface of the ocean water. Apart from that, if we talk about the deepest point on the earth, so deepest point on the earth is found in the Pacific Ocean, almost 200 kilometers away from the Philippines coast in the eastward direction, where Pacific plate is subducting below the Philippine plate. Here we have formation of a trench-like structure. A trench refers to a very deep and narrow valleys, and this trench is known as Mariana Trench. And the depth of Mariana Trench from the surface of ocean is believed to be somewhere in the range of 11 kilometers. So the deepest point on the earth we can see is more deeper than the highest point on the earth. Then coming to the temperature ranges of the earth. So as far as the highest temperature on the earth is concerned, the highest temperature has been measured in the Death Valley region, which is situated in the California of United States of America, where the maximum temperature recorded has been positive 58 degrees Celsius. At the same time, if we try to understand the lowest temperature that has been recorded on the Earth's surface, it has been recorded in the Vostok region of Antarctica, where the temperature recorded was minus 88 degrees Celsius. So this is the extreme range of temperature which has been recorded as far as Earth is concerned. Now, since we have talked so much about Earth, how can we forget the Earth's long-time companion, that is the only natural satellite of the Earth, Moon? So let us try to understand some facts about the Moon. As far as Moon is concerned, it is a very dry, cratered world without any atmosphere, and that makes living on the Moon very difficult or almost impossible in the near future. The surface of Moon looks like pockmarked with several craters that has been made or that has been created by the impact of asteroids and comets that hit the surface of Moon in the initial stage of its formation. The most interesting thing about Moon that we can know about is Moon is considered to be tidally locked to the Earth. Now, what is tidal locking? Now, tidal locking refers to that phenomena where any celestial body's orbital period is same as its axial period. So, what does it mean in simple terms? In simple terms, what we can say that the time that Moon takes to complete one revolution around the Earth is same as it takes to complete one rotation on its axis, and it is due to this fact that always from the Earth only one face of Moon is visible to us. That means the other face of the Moon can never be seen from the Earth, and that is why this face of Moon is called as far side or dark side of the Moon. So the question comes that how did Moon form? So the major theory that explains the formation of Moon is something that is called as great impact theory, where it is believed that in the initial stage of the formation of solar system, somewhere about 4.2 billion years ago, there has been a very significant collision that occurred between a celestial bodies that was as large as size of Mars, that has been given the name of Theia, and then we have on the other hand we have the Earth. And due to collision between the Theia and the Earth, a large part of the chunk broke away, and that large part of chunk that broke away started to take a round shape and started to orbit around the Earth, and that is how the Moon has come into formation. So we have discussed about the past, we have discussed about the present. Let us try to understand what is the future of the Earth. So as we know, the life on the Earth can only be made possible if the sun is present. So if there has been significant changes or there is a possibility of changes in the sun, there also will be some changes in the Earth. So it is believed that in the next 5 to 6 billion years ago from now, sun will enter into a phase that is referred as red giant phase of a star. Red giant phase of star refers to that phenomena where the size of star started to swell up and become so bigger in size that it almost will swell up all the inner planets that is orbiting around the sun, including Mercury, Venus, and even Earth. So what we can say that in the next 5 to 6 billion years, Earth will basically be engulfed by the expanding atmosphere of the sun, and during that time the temperature of Earth will become so high that life cannot be imagined. Not only that, that Earth will continue, sun will continuously keep on swelling up, but after the red giant phase, gradually 10 to 12 billion years from now, sun will convert into a star that is called as white dwarf. The white dwarf is a very small star which is continuously shrinking and cooling, and thus it can no longer sustain any kind of life form as far as the solar system is concerned. So not only the Earth will be doomed in the future, the life on the Earth cannot be imagined in the future, but even the life in the solar system will be vaporized, or we can say will be disappeared as the sun enter into the white dwarf stage. But since this is very long period of time, 5 to 6 billion years, so we do not have to worry as far as our present is concerned. So that is all for this particular video. I hope you like the interesting fact that we have discussed today about the Earth. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and share it with your fellow subscriber. Also subscribe to our channel for more such helpful content. Thank you very much.